Undocumented immigrants are the least likely to commit crime. That has been well documented by our own law enforcement agents.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a protester fired some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon.
I watched the news today and thought, what the hell is going on? There's a raid in California. Next thing you know, someone's shooting at ICE agents. Fox shows chaos, violence, armed suspects. And the Democrats? They say it was just scared children. Trump is the real scumbag. Seriously. That's what happened when you switched the channels in America. So today, instead of picking sides, let's do the only smart thing. Put these stories side by side. Let's see what's actually going on. But first, here's the context. Here's what Fox News had to say.
Protesters swarmed the marijuana farm in Southern California as federal immigration agents were carrying out a search warrant there. The U.S. attorney warned these protesters not to interfere or they would be charged with a federal offense. But a local news helicopter captured the moment that one of those protesters appeared to fire a weapon at the officers. The U.S. attorney says now FBI has issued a $50,000 award for information leading to the conviction of an unknown subject who appeared to fire a pistol at federal law enforcement officers near Camarillo. California Governor Gavin Newsom tried to politicize this moment. He posted kids running from tear gas, crying on the phone because their mother was just taken from the fields. Trump calls me news scum, but he's the real scum.
I think I can give you something you don't get very often, but that's badly needed right now. A breakdown with no team jersey, no side, just analysis. So from the Democrats' point of view, Fox is using this one protester to smear the entire demonstration, turning one guy into an excuse to criminalize everyone. Fox, on the other hand, feels totally vindicated. They say law and order doesn't come from talk anymore, only from force. And here's the real irony. You live in the country that's supposed to thrive on open debate, on clash of ideas. But what you can actually watch, two sides beating each other with political clubs, just to trip the other up. Now watch how they try to sabotage Trump's entire agenda. Clip coming up.
A federal judge just moments ago found that the Department of Homeland Security has been making arrests in Los Angeles immigration raids without probable cause. So she is ordering the department to stop detaining individuals based solely on race, spoken language, or occupation. This is a major decision for the state of California, which has been at the epicenter of a lot of these immigration raids in the last couple of days. And it also comes after the Trump administration has explicitly said that those are the reasons that they might stop and detain, actually arrest people just because they're working at a Home Depot, maybe because they are speaking Spanish, or because they look like they are undocumented. What do you think?
Okay, let me ask you something. Does that make sense? If your job is to find people who are in the country illegally, and your training tells you most of them speak Spanish, do low-wage jobs, and avoid official channels, then what exactly is the judge saying? That doing your job is now a crime? Sounds like the left is trying to criminalize Trump's entire immigration agenda. Not by voting it down, by turning it into a lawsuit. And how will the right respond? Easy. The same way both sides always do, with moral outrage and dehumanization. Watch this.
Strikes me unbelievable that the Democrats are not on board. When you look at this raid, there were 10 juveniles that were illegally brought across the border. You and I covered this under the Biden administration. I was down in Texas. We encountered 8, 10-year-old, 12-year-olds coming across with just a name and an address and a phone number on their necks, the cartel ruthlessly sending them across. And yet now we know that 10 of them, 8 of which were unaccompanied minors working illegally in a marijuana farm, and your agents go in and rescue them essentially, and yet there is violent resistance to that. Does that upset you?
Come on, if you actually believe that, you are blind. Let's be real. These migrants risk their lives to get here, illegally. You really think they feel rescued when ICE agents show up and drag them off? Give me a break. Rescued? They were teenage kids from South America, working on a wheat farm in California, probably smoking all day, living the dream. And now ICE shows up and yanks them out of the paradise? No. What we are seeing is something else. Everyone's bending over backwards to frame themselves as the good guys, no matter how ridiculous the argument sounds. Just listen to this.
And I think the idea that we should accept this, people being snatched off the street by masked men in plain clothes with vests on that it looks like they got from Amazon, carrying guns and pulling people aside, no warrants, arresting them, detaining them. We don't know where they go.
You know, when people cross the US border illegally, no one really asked where they were planning to go. And that's exactly why the current debate misses the point. It's not about causes anymore, just symptoms. These are moralized micro-discussions that ignore the bigger picture. The reality is this: Trump was elected. He's in charge for 4 years. And if the Democrats failed to create a migration policy the country could actually support, then frankly, blaming Trump now is more than just a little convenient. Let's be honest. If an official letter telling someone to leave was actually enough, ICE wouldn't have to show up at all. But clearly, that's not how it works. Take a look at this.
Started throwing pepper balls, tear gas, smoke, everything. Just trying to disperse us because they're scared. They know that we're gonna push back against it.
We're here united. We're not letting ICE agents in. We're not letting ICE agents out. We've been trying to block in since we're not giving them what they want.
What we've really seen here is horrific. It shouldn't be this way. It is vulgar. It's un-American. This is not what we are about here.
In Germany, we have been having the same debate over a decade. They say it's inhumane to question migration. That's the default line. But here's the deal. Every refugee gets a free apartment, paid language courses, heating bills cover it, cash every month, child benefits, full healthcare access. We spend here over 15 billion euros each year. And the more we give, the more come. And the moment someone even suggests reducing those benefits, the progressive side freaks out. At some point, you start to wonder, is this unfiltered mass migration really an accident? Or is it a plan all along? Because if it is, then in any democracy, that road only leads one way, to a breaking point. Listen to this.
The majority of Americans support deporting illegal immigrants. Latest number from Fox is at 56%. Latest number from New York Times at 54%, Marquette 56%, and Wall Street Journal 53%. When you just listen to the reporting that we heard there about 10 kids working in one of these pot stores, and you've got a Democratic congressman out there says, Salud Carbajal, I believe is how you say it, says it's deplorable, it's overkill, it's ridiculous, this was a bunch of crap. His words, his quote, where do you see this going if this is the early stages of it all?
Even if it stinks, 53% is a majority. And I think a lot of Americans believe that rising immigration will eventually shift the political balance of power. That's the real accusation, that Democrats are banking on important a future voter base to lock in their long-term grip on power. And maybe, just maybe, that's one of the reasons Trump is back in the game. Anyway, that's it from me for today. My English gets a little bit sharper every day. If this hit a nerve, feel free to subscribe. See you next time.